This video will be a smash-up between Ronnie Coleman's training and competition montage and the live performance of Beethoven's Third Symphony. The reason for this is that one day when my friends were tripping psychedelics, I was their video DJ. And I put together side by side those two clips, and they saw it and they tripped out and said everything in the universe made sense. See? Ronnie Coleman is the manifestation of the physical, of the flesh, to the maximum degree. And classical music or orchestral music, symphonies, are the manifestation and the expression of the spiritual or the mental to the maximum degrees. So if you put them together, that is my way of bridging the mind and body problem. See, if you look at it closely, you can easily visualize the whole orchestra shrink down to the microscopic level. Or, on the other hand, Ronnie Coleman blowing up, expanding his size to engulf the whole orchestra. So the orchestra could be inside Ronnie Coleman's body, and everything would make sense and it would fit perfectly. See, the strings of the orchestra could very well visually and metaphorically be attached to or be aligned with Ronnie Coleman's muscle fibers. And when Ronnie Coleman flexes, the orchestra makes a sound and vice versa. See, when you talk about string theory in quantum physics, the word string really is just a metaphor for vibrations. Sound is nothing but vibrations, right? And the muscles, the forces that it creates is nothing but the result of certain vibrations as well. On another level, training to become a bodybuilder and training to become awesome at a classical instrument is really two sides of the same coin. That is why I dabble my feet on both. They both require hard work, willpower, time, and result through repetition after repetition.
Sets of that. 30 pounds for like 12 reps.
With all that said, it took me a while to gather my thoughts and analyses and feels about Ronnie Coleman, about my meeting with him, because it just started to make sense and it just started to hit me how insane of an experience that was. Seeing Ronnie in real life really was a surreal experience. It's not just that he is famous. It's not just that he has more Mr. Olympia titles than Arnold. It's the fact that he defies and makes you question the nature of existence and reality and of mind and dreams. First of all, it's a stretch in the imagination just to visualize a person with a physique like this. I think in a way we almost take his appearance for granted and had become desensitized to it. I know you still feel awestruck when you see him flexing on stage or posing for magazines, but people 50 to 100 years ago could not even begin to conceptualize inside their minds the shape and size of his body, let alone seeing it in real life. Can you imagine if he goes back in time and walks the Victorian streets or the Great Wall of China? People would not think of him to be human. I think in a way, as Ronnie's body gets bigger, as he gets more muscular, he also broadens the public imagination. It's like he sits in our minds, and the bigger he gets, the more open-minded we become of what could be accepted in society or in the world as aesthetic or as being human. Ronnie is a game changer, a paradigm shifter. See, before Ronnie, people still wanted to look like humans. After him, bodybuilders left humanity to pursue something else entirely different. He is the BBC prototype, the idealized Platonic form of the BBC, which all the other copies and particulars like the Hodge twins, Chris Jones, Kai Green, and even the reigning champion, Phil have only or merely partaken. Secondly, it's a stretch in the imagination to think that any human being would genuinely, passionately want to look this way. Even with the knowledge and the technology and everything else that we have today, to be able to potentially achieve this kind of a physique, it takes a very unique and insane, or in a good way, mindset to have the desire to look the way he does and to actually have the genetics, the talent, the time, the willpower to actually achieve it. On top of that, the fact that I actually stood in front of, worked out with, ate, and conversed and filmed an actual person who actually transcended and embodied all of the above is in itself the biggest mindfuck. The chances of all these happenings taking place at the same time is about as astronomical and grandeur as the Big Bang itself, which was exactly what was happening inside my mind. So miraculous, so rare. When you look at people like Picasso or Kobe Bryant or Tyler Swift or anyone else for that matter, their identities, their fame, and accomplishments are context dependent. They arise only in relation to external factors like public opinions, record sales, awards, Instagram followers, a basketball, a stadium, a disembodied voice, paintings, MP3 files, money, hoes, and stuff. Put all these people on an island, stripped away all the connectivities and the correspondences that made them who they or what they are, and they are instantly rendered human, all too human. But put Ronnie Coleman on an island, and he is still who and what he is. So that makes Ronnie Coleman in a category of his own. He is still the most muscular dude that's ever walked the earth. A monster, a freak of nature. See, he doesn't have to say or do anything that will convince you otherwise. Which leads me to my last point. A lot of people who has met Ronnie Coleman commented on the fact that he doesn't really interact with people around him much. And he seems detached and in his own world. But on a superficial level, all that is justified. Ronnie doesn't need to be nice to anybody. He is the greatest athlete in probably the hardest sport in the world. To succeed in this sport, one doesn't need to please any teammates or make any connections that one doesn't want to make. So in a sense, Ronnie Coleman doesn't have to talk to you, and he's already nicer than what he should be. But on a deeper, more phenomenological level, his existence is not dependent on anything else but what he built for himself by himself. See, Ronnie has his dreams carved and stitched into his body, and his body embedded within his dreams. Ronnie is a self-referential and self-contained system that transcends duality. Ronnie's mind and body and world are made up of the same substance, which allows him to operate in a space of singularity, oneness, wholeness. In other words, he is his own universe. In that sense, he is the physical manifestation of the state of enlightenment, aka Brahma, aka Allah, aka the Absolute, aka pure consciousness. And if you think about it, I'm sure if Ronnie Coleman was born in the East, or if he was raised in any other household that encouraged bodybuilding, if his outpour of energy and creativity wasn't into the physical form, but the mental, or into consciousness and meditation, I'm pretty sure he would have become an enlightened being. Wittgenstein famously said that what cannot be spoken of must be passed over in silence. That is why you should not talk to Ronnie Coleman, and you should not expect a word coming out of his mouth. Simply stand in front of him and perceive him, and you will see and understand everything. And just like an awakening experience, meeting Ronnie Coleman is like a wake-up call to all of us that life is a dream and anything is possible. And with that, I salute you, Ronnie Coleman. Hope we meet again.
Lightweight, baby!
If he decides to choose, the Ghost's pretty boy image falls a natty card. Goes pro? Does he have the genetics and the hard work ethics to hang with the big boys like Kai Green and Phil Heath?